Today we're going to be rebuilding the Minnesota Vikings, and let me tell you, this was definitely the team fan base that I beefed with the most over the course of this past season. I was like, hey, let's be a little bit skeptical about the Vikings. I'm not sure they're as good as their record might indicate with all these one-score games going on, and Vikings fans are like, you're an idiot. They win all the one-score games. I'm like, I don't know if it's sustainable, and they're like, you're going to see. And you know what? They were right. I did see. Vikings got to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Pass rush was going at it. Justin Jefferson went for over 200 with L'Jarius Sneed dealing with injury. They crushed it. I was wrong. Okay. Now that all the new Vikings fans that have found this video hate me like the old ones did, I think we're good to begin. So with the Vikings, we will first find ourselves in a couple of really tough decisions. I think Adam Thielen's going to be a big one. Is this someone we need to build around or get rid of? And the unfortunate reality, great story, Minnesota State, undrafted, makes a team, becomes a star for the Vikings, and he's not going to be part of our plans. 32 years old, only an 84 overall at this point, star dev. He's an awesome player historically for the Vikings, but I think for us, it's going to be time to move on. And when you take a look at his contract, Adam Thielen has 3 years remaining left on his deal, and it's a lot of money for 2023 and 2024. This is someone that I would unfortunately call a cap casualty. So again, if the Vikings fans hated me already, it's going to get worse when I look to move Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins, I'm just not sure about in this as well. 34 years old, normal dev. He is an 84 overall. So to me, he's good enough to be a bridge quarterback right now and somebody that we can win with if our team is exceptional around him. Unfortunately, it's not exceptional, although it is quite good, especially at the skill positions. Dalvin Cook, Alex Madison's whatever, but we have Justin Jefferson, who's obviously one of, if not the best receivers in the NFL, or one of, if not the best receiver, I should say. TJ Hawkinson was a big-time trade pickup, but they also have Irv Smith, who I've always been a fan of. I know he's not a world beater at the position. I just think he's a good player. So I wonder if they're going to run more 12 personnel in 2023 or look to move him at some point. I think he's a good player. I think he can be, near a top 10 tight end in the league. It's not the strongest position in the league. I think, if Pat Freiermuth is in that top 10 range, I think Irv Smith could certainly end up pushing toward being in that same range as well. That's just kind of the talent at the position in the league right now. You have guys that, otherwise wouldn't be amazingly high rated, but could be within that top of their position group, if that makes sense. Offensive line, Christian Darrisaw is rated way too low. I mean, just way too low. For me, he's one of the better tackles in the league right now, and he's only 23 years old. I don't know why he's not rated higher. I felt like he was actually maybe outside of Justin Jefferson, and I know Dalvin Cook's flashier, but for the Vikings, I think their fan base would agree. I would say he was, outside of Justin Jefferson, probably their best offensive player. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but I just want to, kind of show you guys how highly I think of him as a player. He was phenomenal. 81 overall is just too low. Brian O'Neill's an 87, though. At the offensive line, we could do some work there. And then defensively, man, there is talent here. 4 players with superstar development. Danielle Hunter, if he could stay healthy, could be an X factor. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league, in my opinion. Just really needs to stay on the field. But Harrison Smith is going to put me in a really tough decision, just like Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen. Harrison Smith is 33 years old. He is still one of the most talented players in the league at his position. Just, he's not going to develop at this point. He's only going to get worse, and that's going to be a tough pill to swallow for me. So we're going to probably look to move him in some way. Zadarius Smith, kind of in that same realm. Now, he is 29. I thought he was like 31. So that's on me. But yeah, we could have him. He's still going to be in the same spot where he's not really going to develop. But we'll probably hold on to him for another season or two at the very least, I would guess. But it depends on how much he regresses. Eric Kendricks, similar range. He's probably about 30 as well. And still really good player. Just, you wonder if at some point you're going to have to move these guys for younger and higher potential players. Jordan Hicks, hook him. Dalvin Tomlinson, giant legend. At Harrison Phillips. Ross Blacklock, the former, I would say probably top 50 pick by the Texans. Now has made his way to Minnesota. There's not really a ton here. Corner is probably the weakest position on this team. Hopefully Andrew Booth can develop. We'll go ahead and move him up. But a lot of work to be done. We have to start back at 2022. This is not a super realistic rebuild. I might do one later in the year for the Vikings, but let's go ahead and hop into it, have some fun, hopefully find some really good players to draft, and turn this Vikings team into a juggernaut. I'm hoping we're going to see some really good draftable players. And the number one player in the class, okay, very interesting. The top 2 players, actually, are from really small schools, Jacksonville State and the HBCU, I believe, Grambling State, which, you know what, whatever. Good for Johnny Holiday. But Tyreek Clinton, 6'2", 230, and Johnny Holiday, 6'4", 230, 6'3", 240. These are some big boys. At quarter, actually, he's an outside linebacker. Joey Pace is the other QB. These are really interesting looking players. I don't know if we know a ton about them right now. We don't, but I'm gonna go ahead and set my scouts up. This could potentially be a quarterback class for us. It just depends on how good these players actually are. Rating or ranking is one thing, but you know, we need guys that are actually really, really good, and our top scout looks like they're going to be in a good position to figure it out. Trading Adam Thielen and Irv Smith to my favorite in real life team, the New York Giants. We are getting the number 37 overall projected pick in return. And I do like the Vikings fans. I know we've had our jabs here back and forth. Adrian Peterson is my favorite player of all time. And that's saying something. As a Texas Longhorns fan growing up with all my family in Texas, even though I'm, lived in New Jersey most of my life before 2019. Adrian Peterson was just an awesome player, even though he was one of the biggest rival schools of Texas at the time. I was young, and I was just watching him be a monster, and I watched a ton of Vikings games for that reason, even as a Giants fan. So I do like the Vikings historically, and I want to see them good in this rebuild because I am the guy now. I'm managing the team. And hopefully we can bring them to the promised land. And it starts with making trades like that. They're tough. We're getting rid of some really talented players. I'm kind of tearing it down a little bit, which I know is going to be tough to see and watch. But I'm saying, hey, we saw this team. They probably need to be torn down just a little bit before we can build back up. So I think trading Adam Thielen was something that had to happen. I'm not sure about Harrison Smith just yet, but I think Patrick Peterson is someone that should move. Irv Smith, we have TJ Hawkinson. Vikings traded for him in real life. I'm going to go ahead and build around him at the tight end position. So don't really think there's too much to do other than that. Garrett Bradbury, somebody that we probably should move on from, but it's going to be Patrick Peterson and Dalvin Tomlinson who end up getting traded here. If I can get a first-round pick from somebody, I'd love to do that. And let's get the Rams first-round pick from the Lions. I think that's projected 32. Let's make this happen. There we go. Patrick Peterson and Dalvin Tomlinson were number 32 overall projected, which is why that's not as valuable. But who knows? Could end up being a lot higher than that, depending on how the Rams do. But we'll go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark and kind of reassess from there. 1-5 at the midseason mark. Not exactly great for our team success, but I do think it bodes well for our future when we're focusing on kind of building the team down so we can tearing it down so we can build it up even stronger. I think that's kind of the way to go. We do have a Superstar X Factor Breakout Challenge for Daniil Hunter. Not sure if he's going to end up reaching those heights, but we're going to try it regardless. It makes sense to. And our focus scouting has to be on quarterback. And the strengths of the class are corner and quarterback, which could end up being 2 of our biggest needs. We can work with Kirk Cousins for a little bit longer, surely. But if there's a stud quarterback and we can go up and get them, it's going to be the move. Oh yeah, let me check out these quarterbacks, by the way. See how good they actually are. At first glance, Tyreek Clinton looks pretty good. We're going to have to see what type he is. He's a field general. So I don't know if that necessarily bodes well for arm talent, but it could. Short accuracy is good or great. Under pressure is great. Deep accuracy is good enough. Medium accuracy could be good. Show me elite physical skills. Okay, good to great throw power. I'm not blown away, but he could be a good player. Now, Johnny Holiday could have that dog in him. Great to elite strength, but only solid to good throw power. Pretty much everything is solid to good with him. Accuracy is pretty good. I do like the improviser type. I just wish the arm was a bit better. He is only 21 years old. I'm going to look at both of these guys further. Good to great throw power, actually, for Tyreek Clinton could be the difference maker here. I don't know. If we would have to move up to 1 to get either of those guys, I don't know if I love that. A day 3 quarterback, Alcorn State. I think that's where Steve McNair went, funnily enough. A short accuracy, B medium, A to C deep, not bad. Is this the Tom Brady build? A awareness, okay. I'm not saying Tom Brady, right? Because that's a huge stretch, but I don't know if I've seen a day 3 quarterback with this type of mold. A awareness, A short accuracy, B medium, A to C deep. And then, like, he's nothing special athletically, but the arm is solid to good. We might have something there down the board, so it's not worth it to move up for a QB. I know that seems wild, but it's something I'm going to consider. Also, I'm not sure how corner is supposedly the strength of the class. These guys look like they suck. I don't know what to tell you. Like, Cam Yarbrough might be the best one with, what is that? C man coverage and B zone coverage. That's not really doing it for me. This is the strength of the class, really. Also, a day 3 running back with A, ball carrier vision, break tackle, and carrying seems good to me. And he's not even that bad of an athlete either. Solid to good speed. The change of direction is not great. We do have great to elite jumping. Not really sure what that does for me. Ooh, let's go. I found Troy Williamson. What a beast. I will say this outside linebacker class has some all-time names. Juan Frost. Whew. Monte Conrad, Demarius Boston, and Demarius Boston actually looks pretty incredible. 6'3", 241 speed rusher out of A&M, 21 years old. C block shed's not bad, B tackle's not bad, but he has great to elite speed and acceleration with A finesse moves guaranteed. He could be a stud, and he might be worth taking really, really high in the draft. I know I keep talking a lot about these made-up players, but Dion Orr, day 3, a lot of A's or A to C on there, but does have great to elite acceleration and speed and A hit power. So at the very least, very intriguing. D'Angelo Luther, A man coverage at free safety. Not a crazy athlete, but there is something there. Okay, here's the deal. Quarterback is now fully scouted, 100%, and Tyree Clinton is a top 5 player in the class. So a lot of A's on there, to be fair, a lot of A's. So do we move all the way up for Tyree Clinton, or do we go a different direction? This could be our real chance to get a stud quarterback. I think it just kind of depends where we end up picking. Right now we're 4-5. We're on a bit of a win streak. So I wouldn't mind losing some more games. I did the focus players. I want to check out Demarius Boston. I'm never opposed to trading up for a sick edge rusher if I can. You just want to always have the team be as good as possible. It's not always about drafting. We need a corner, draft a corner. We're trying to get the best players and build around that. I'm okay to trade people. I'm okay to sign different positions that we need. I think free agency is for needs and the draft is for talent. That's usually how I approach these rebuilds. I think I'm going to continue to do so. So there is talent in this draft class. I worry about how much, though. If Tyree Clinton is a top 5 player in the draft, he might only be like a 75 overall quarterback. Could be higher, could be lower, certainly. But I wonder what that means for the rest of the class. Usually, the quarterbacks are lower rated. I don't really think this QB looks generational. He could be. I don't know. It's kind of tough to tell sometimes with some of these different builds, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, thankfully, we went back to losing. 6-11 is our final record. I never changed the playbooks in year 1 just because I want to see what they will actually end up looking like. Although Kirk Cousins had an incredible year, about 4,900 passing yards, 41 touchdowns to fewer than 10 interceptions. His development trait might actually go up to star at 34, 35 years old, which could be an interesting wrinkle. Nick Mullins also had a touchdown in there. Dalvin Cook had a fairly good season. Madison was a change of pace guy. And KJ Osborne, clearly, I guess, playing in the slot, put up incredible numbers. 1,500 yards on 101 catches, 15 touchdowns. I probably will end up putting Justin Jefferson in there next year just because he's going to be even more unstoppable in that role. And I don't know if it was slot receiver for Minnesota offense, but a lot of big-time numbers for the receivers. I mean, even Olabisi Johnson went off. Justin Jefferson had a great year too, but KJ Osborne now went from like fringe, like solid receiver 3, probably not much more than that, to now maybe in this franchise, KJ Osborne could be a really solid wide receiver 2. It depends on what his upgrades look like. TJ Hawkinson was okay. Might change the Chiefs' playbook on offense just to maximize tight end. Eric Kendricks led our team in tackles. Harrison Phillips, 20 tackles for loss despite not even registering 1 sack. Daniel Hunter got 15 of them, 9 for Zadarius Smith. The defense probably will change. We got almost no turnovers. Chandon Sullivan had 4 interceptions, which led the team by a lot. 4 interceptions. I think the next highest was 1 for us, but didn't make the playoffs. This was not our year. Packers got in, whereas, I think the Vikings went 13-4 this past season. Or did they go 14-3? They might have been a 14-win team. I don't exactly remember, but we're going to simulate to the offseason. We're not a part of these playoff festivities. I don't care. We're focusing on the future, and that's what's coming up next. Wow, Super Bowl rematch of the Niners and the Ravens. This time the Niners actually come out on top. Gervarius Ward is Super Bowl MVP of what was surely an exhilarating game at 14-7. Ron Rivera, Coach of the Year. A little flashback there, blast from the past. Was he Coach of the Year in 2015? Maybe. I mean, the Panthers were, 15-1 that year? Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. Not exactly very shocking. And we are officially to the offseason. I'm going to see some dev traits. It's going to help us realize, some moves we might want to make. KJ Osborne could be a bigger part of the team. I was really considering bringing in a receiver, even though it's not a super talented free agent class. Now we might be able to hold off a little bit more. The offense was grooving, but we'll go ahead and see what the offense and defense is looking like and see where we might have to improve. Osborne did go up to star dev. Kirk Cousins went up to star dev, but he also went down 4 overall points to an 80. Throw power went for, I think, like an 88 to an 85. He's going to have to be replaced, man. It's just going to be a spiral. But okay, a lot to look at here. Our defensive line looks bad, but we can move to a 4-3. Daniil Hunter is up to Superstar X Factor, which I think is huge for him, especially since he's only 28 years old, right? We might have a year or two now with Superstar X Factor where he can actually continue to develop instead of getting worse. Harrison Smith is down to an 87. Zadarius Smith, 85. Kendricks, 85. Now, what's super interesting here is that Cam Dantzler went up to Superstar Development. I don't know why. I don't think he did anything super impressive. He might even end up moving to safety for me. There is potential there. Moving Lewis Seen to strong safety, Dantzler back to free safety, and then trade Harrison Smith. The corner's not strong enough. I think we are going to move to a 4-3 regardless, unless I end up drafting that stud edge rusher. It just kind of depends what these players look like. I haven't made a decision yet. I don't think I have to right now, but the time period is coming up quickly. And also, the name Luigi Villain, all-time name. I think it is pronounced Villain, real-life player, but it's an all-time name. Okay, free agency. Tom Brady's here. I don't think he's going to be playing for Minnesota. And that's probably because he retired in real life, so that's not really much of a statement by me. No one really wants to join the Vikings. Josh Allen would have been one I would consider. Jamel Dean, though. That might be someone I'm comfortable overpaying. The age and the overall make sense to me. 26 years old, 85 overall. There are 5 teams that are interested in him, but I think at that price point, I am actually pretty comfortable at 15 a year, basically. So I will offer on Jamel Dean. If we get him, we get him. Great. If we don't, that's okay. There's still time to get free agents in other classes as well. This is not the only year of this thing. But I don't really love a lot of what's here. I think we're going to, I would say, play it a little bit conservatively. And I don't know, maybe only offer Garrett Bradbury to bring him back at center. Maybe Nate Davis. And also, if we were going to draft a quarterback, should we not trade Kirk Cousins? I might like to do that. But I changed our playbook to get TJ Hawkinson more involved. Bradbury's interest does not change. Nate Davis' interest does not change either. But Nate Davis would not be bad to get. Just solidify that offensive line. I don't know that we have Nate Davis money, and then we'll still have room to bring back Garrett Bradbury. Yeah, Nate Davis we're not going to get. But Bradbury is somebody who I think we can bring back. I know he's been a little bit underwhelming in real life, Star dev in the game is kind of just enough for me to want to bring him back at 28 years old. Although, looks like he's getting that Jacksonville tax. He's going to be headed south. I can't really give him much more than that. I'm not going to compete with Jacksonville. It's going to pay him like $15 million a year to be Garrett Bradbury. I'm okay on that. Joey Pace, by the way, from LSU, jumped Johnny Holiday in terms of ability. But Tyree Clinton, if we're going to draft a guy, it's him. Top 5 talent in the class. A medium, A short, B deep accuracy, A throw under pressure. Ended up with great throw power. Is still a decent enough athlete. A trucking is actually kind of neat too. But he's not really much of a runner, I wouldn't say. But yeah, he looks definitely very good. He looks like a very safe quarterback. Someone I think could put up really good numbers. But this is the guy I'm really intrigued with. Demarius Boston. Elite speed, which is 4.65, but he's an edge rusher. So that's still very good by the game standards. And A finesse moves. I think we should go for it. Although Peter Coakley at left end, only good speed, but it's 4.69 at left end. 4.67 at his pro day. Elite acceleration. Elite jumping. Great change of direction. Also A finesse moves. Man, and we could team him up with Kentucky's Zadarius Smith. A little bit of a Kentucky theme going on. I don't know what this draft is going to look like. There are probably at least 3 players that I want to take in the first round. I know the Vikings have actually done that before in the 2013 class that included, can I name all of them? I know Sharif Floyd was the second Viking off the board, I believe. Maybe the late teens or early 20s. Cordero Patterson was at the back end of the first round. Who was the Vikings' first round pick in 2013? Am I completely spacing on this? I definitely am. Who was it? I know Sharif Floyd, Cordero Patterson. Who am I missing that they got? Was it a corner? Was that Xavier Rhodes? Oh, Sharif Floyd was actually the first player off the board. Then Xavier Rhodes. They all came in the 20s. Cordero Patterson at 29. Yes, Sharif Floyd was 23. I thought they had a pick before that in hindsight. But no, Xavier Rhodes at 25 and Cordero Patterson at 29. I guess I did pull all the names, but I did think Rhodes was the first one off the board, even though I blanked on him for a second. We'd have to up our money to get Nate Davis. Jamel Dean, we are in the hunt on. He would be a big get. Again, I'm comfortable overpaying him. It's just, I think it might have to be done. He's really good, still young enough to be a really good player for us long term. I know he's not interested, and I usually don't go after players that aren't interested just because it's really expensive. But he didn't sign anyway, so it doesn't matter. Didn't get either of those players. You know what? This is a big money-saving year. It doesn't matter if I've decided it. It's what happened. I'm not just going to sign randoms. Dylan Palmer, by the way, from Alcorn State was around 3 to 4 talent. So pretty good value there, but nothing exceptional. We might have to actually draft a center at this point. NFL draft time, this is maybe the most indecisive I've been ahead of the draft, but things have changed. I hadn't checked where we were picking, but we are at number 2, and then we also have a top pick right there at the edge there. What is that, number 7? So we actually have very, very high picks in this draft. Thankfully, can't actually check them, unfortunately. Classic Madden. And whose pick did we get? Was it the Rams? I think they might be the reason that we are at number 2 overall. So thank you to the Rams, who were not good. I'm going to move up. We are at number 2 overall, and the Texans are at number 1 overall. They might want to take a quarterback. I do not want to let that happen. So I am going to move up here. I want to hold on a lot of these picks, so I'm a little bit worried about this. Can I give you Kirk Cousins? Can we make out some sort of a trade? Yo, okay. We're going to do this. Number 2, Kirk Cousins, or number 1, and a first-round pick. Oh, so fair. And it's accepted. Okay. Yeah, I know. Probably not a super realistic move for the Texans, but it works in Madden. You know, the Texans, maybe they're in win-now mode. We're going to take Tyreek Clinton at number 1 overall. Tyreek is 22 years old out of Jacksonville State, and we talked about him a lot so far. Just a good overall athlete, nothing exceptional, but does have a great arm. And then skills-wise, he's very accurate, good under pressure. Maybe not like an incredible type of extender. This is someone that actually looks pretty similar to what you'd see from CJ Stroud, I would say, if you were to create CJ Stroud. Now, his throw under pressure wouldn't be an A exactly. His trucking wouldn't be an A. but also he might have A deep accuracy. So there are some similarities. I also wouldn't say CJ Stroud's throw power would be great, but maybe good, which is still like in the top 3 tiers, so not too bad. But yeah, I am going to take Tyreek Clinton here from Jacksonville State, and welcome to the team. Hidden Dev, love to see it. 92 throw power with 81 speed, 87 change of direction, 86 acceleration, 80 agility, but we're more focused on those throwing numbers. 92 throw power is a really great attribute to get. It's pretty good, and actually that's probably where I would put CJ Stroud anyway, but I guess that's what great arm strength is. And then we have a really interesting decision because we pick at 6 and then 19 after the trade. I like Demarius Boston, but there are other good edge rushers in this class. I just have to figure out which ones are the absolute best. Peter Coakley looks really good. And then there's another one. Who is it? Was it Carlos Edwards? No, it was Isaiah Johnson from Iowa. I made him a focus player. He's 90% scouted. 6'4", 245. Has the size all right. From Iowa. So pretty local. You know, a lot of Iowans are Minnesota Vikings fans. This would be a match made in heaven for him. B pursuit, B tackle. C block shed. Athletically, it's pretty good. Pretty good for an edge with A finesse moves, A awareness. This is a good edge rusher class, especially with these outside linebackers. And then Dion Orr, I made him a focus player again to get him up to 100%. Round 3 to 4 talent with unbelievable athleticism in day 3. That's somebody who I want. So Dion Orr should be a Minnesota Viking. D'Angelo Luther, I don't know about. Braden Cox, I made another focus player. I wanted to know all about his coverage. He's got A press. He's a good athlete. I don't know where we'd play him. It's probably the most I've looked at day 3 players, maybe ever, in one of these rebuilds. I do it a lot in the actual franchise series, but here I usually don't focus on it. But man, I don't really know what to do. I wish I knew more about Gavin Smith. I wish all of these guys could be at 100%, but unfortunately, it just does not work like that. Isaiah Johnson's got higher awareness than Demarius Boston. Does the defensive end, Peter Coakley? His awareness, I think, is good for overall. Got B. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Is it better to just wait to see who gets to us at 6 if it's any of them? I think that's what we're going to do. Joey Pace, quarterback, does go to the Texans. So they get a bridge QB with Kirk Cousins and then get their replacement in Joey Pace. Steelers go with Demarius Boston at 3. I'm okay with that. Didn't want to have to trade back up. Gavin Smith out of Penn State goes at number 4. Cardinals take Peter Coakley. Okay, so all the edge rushers are off the board now, except for one who actually maybe looked like the best one. And that is Isaiah Johnson from Iowa, who we talked about a little bit earlier, right? Got A awareness, right? Still a great athlete. A finesse moves, so we're not really losing a whole lot there. B tackling. He's really good. He's just maybe not quite as good of an athlete, but top to bottom, everything's either great to good for his athletic ratings. I think he's going to be the one. At number 6, is that a little rich for my blood? It might be. Also, I feel like there's been so much talking in this rebuild, so if you feel like it's a lot of like fluff, I apologize for that. Manny Burnett also looks like a freak. He's got a bowling ball head, but he has great speed, which is weird. Ran 4.59, A power moves, A awareness. How big is this dude? 6'3", 276. Oh. Do I just roll the dice and go Manny Burnett? Yeah, I'm going to do it. Whatever. If I take another edge rusher, that's fine. He's a perfect fit as a 3-4 defensive end in my system. Hidden Dev, 89 strength to go with 83 speed, 84 acceleration. We know he has A power moves, A awareness. I'm taking a shot on him. I'm taking a shot. He's not really a true edge, but that's okay. And now the one thing we have to make sure of is if I want that other edge rusher, I may have to move up for him. May have to. Projected to go 14 spots down the board. I'm not sure he's going to make it that far. He just went at number 11. Oh, God. No. Okay. Well, I took my chance on a different type of a player. I missed out on all the really good edge rushers, I think, which is a little bit unfortunate, especially with some good defensive tackles in the class. I may have screwed up on that one. Definitely potential for it. That is the NFL draft. If you wait, they go off the board. You got to trade up way earlier than you think. And I thought I was going to, but nope. I'm going to go with a guard at 19. A lead block, A run block power, B pass block's pretty good. He's got the best 40. He's also really strong. Deontay McPherson, only 21 years old, 6'3", 337. Hidden Dev, love to see it. Great strength and speed. He will be a starter on my offensive line. So I don't think we're doing too bad. A little bit unfortunate to miss out on all of the true edge rushers. But, you know, you live and learn, except I never learn. I just live. Do I go interior defensive lineman again? He's a run stopper archetype, only 6'1", 287. A, finesse moves. C, block shedding. Elite speed at the position. He looks really good. I'm going to double down on defensive line. Geo Curse. Hidden Dev, 89 strength, 78 speed. Pretty good, 82 acceleration. I like the combination of size and speed, or maybe not size, but strength and speed, plus finesse moves, pursuit, play rec, awareness, all pretty good. All right, I mean, Geo Curse is also an amazing name. Combines Javon Curse, the Freak, plus, I mean, I don't know, Gio Bernard, Geno Atkins. I don't know. I'm stretching Geo to Geno, but that's okay. Back into the second round here, someone that was not even on my board, but has A to C press, B man coverage, C zone, not too bad. Ran 4.48 with elite change of direction, 4.41 at his pro day. I'm going to take Emmanuel Edwards. Only normal dev, but as you can see from the athletic ratings, this is a really, really good athlete. 90 speed, 96 change of direction, acceleration, agility, jumping all above 90 as well. Strength is only 57. I was hoping for star dev, but maybe a nice little developmental corner there. I think it was worth it to take a shot on him. All right, round 3, pick 6. Then we don't pick till round 5, pick 6. So we have to make this one count. We're not going to trade up. Do I want the center here? Marcel Whiteside has a lot of A to C on there, but it could all be C. He's only 21 years old, is a phenomenal athlete. Oh my goodness. We are going to take a shot on him. Also, A lead block, I like. A impact blocking, I like a lot. First, for 40, bench press, vertical jump. And then second, for 3 cone and 20-yard shuttle broad jump was not good in a lot of ways, but good in some other ways. And then at his pro day, he killed it. Marcel Whiteside, hidden dev, new starter at center, probably 89 strength, 73 speed, 85 acceleration. Marcel Whiteside, what a freak athlete. Okay, I'm in. We've got 2 starters maybe on the offensive line. I think we've actually done really well in this draft, except we just missed out on some edge rushers I would have wanted. Now, from these players, are any of these guys going to make it to the 5th round? I want, in order, probably, or Tatum Cox. Let me rephrase it. I would like Braden. I think, well, we don't want to say, you know, I want, and then, you know, like I did with or Tatum, if that makes sense. Dylan Palmer is someone that, again, is intriguing to me, but medium accuracy is only a B. Deep accuracy is not amazing. He didn't do the combine, only threw it his pro day. He's got a good arm. A awareness, though. It's got backup quarterback written all over it. Braden Cox is projected to go in 47 picks. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to draft him. A press looks like a good athlete. I think I said this guy might be a safety. B tackle, it's pretty good. Play rec's not great. Hit power is pretty good. Tatum in 57. I think we're going to have to trade up. I think that's what's going to have to happen. Top of the 4th round. Surely everyone I want is not going to be gone by then. Future 4 and a 7 moves me up to number 99, where the Steelers pick near the top of the 4th round. And again, we're going to miss out on a player or 2 probably, but it'll make our decision easier. And I can just simulate to that spot, which I like. I don't have to go pick by pick. I know, it's lazy. Jerry Briscoe. Not a name I expected to see. Every player is still available, by the way, that I wanted. So now I don't know what to do. Who's coming into a contract here? Justin Jefferson. Wow, TJ Hawkinson, Daniil Hunter, Eric Kendricks, Cam Dantzler. Oh my goodness. KJ Osborne, Jordan Hicks, J. Ham, Ezra Cleveland. Okay. Jordan Hicks, I hate to do it. Hook him. I'm going to try and trade him for a mid-round pick. Jordan Hicks, back to the Eagles. We got number 105. I hate to do it, but, you know, we got to make sacrifices to be great. There's still something about Dylan Palmer that I like, even though I know his true talent. I'm going to start with Braden Cox because he could be the first one off the board. I think I just want all of these players here. Another pretty good athlete, good speed and jumping. Only normal dev. We'll see if we can develop him a little bit. But I'd like to get all 4 of these players, now 3 remaining. And hopefully we're able to do that. I just think, you got your guys in the draft that you want to bring to your team. The running back is gone. That's unfortunate. So we're going to miss out on him. But that was kind of more of a vanity pick. We don't really need that. 86 speed, 90 acceleration. And we'll see if we can develop Dion Orr. Only normal development. And the quarterback's gone. Oh, come on, dude. Poland? It's probably Cologne, but I don't know. I think I might be done with the draft. Probably just going to trade down. I mean, Charles Fitzpatrick looks okay here on day 3. B power moves, B tackle, C finesse moves. Not a great athlete. Let's draft him. Who knows what we have there? He's slow, I'll tell you that. And we'll trade this 6th round pick for a future 5 from the Raiders. And that is the draft. I know, I really feel like a lot of talking. But it's been a while since I recorded a rebuild. I got a lot of things to say. Draft recap is going to be really, really telling for a lot of these players. Tyree Clinton is a 75. I was worried about that. Although, Manny Burnett was a 76. Not too bad. We actually really killed the draft. McPherson's a 73. The D-tackle Geo Curse is only a 71. But Emmanuel Edwards is a 74. Marcel Whiteside's a 73. Braden Cox, 68. Dion Orr, 68. Charles Fitzpatrick, 65, may struggle to make the team. But this was a really, really solid draft class for us. I'm just worried about some of the players we potentially missed out on. And Ronald Tatum, who's on my board, was actually tied for the highest overall player in the class. He was taken just in front of us, unfortunately. 2 running backs. So we could have had and he was from Minnesota too. Oh, man. Well, I guess he's from Arizona. Oh, no, he's not. He went to school at Minnesota, but he plays in Arizona now. Okay. I misread what that one was. Yeah, he would have been a solid RB2, RB3 for us behind Dalvin Cook. So a little bit frustrated to miss out on that, but he's only a 76. It's still good, but not anything crazy. It just wasn't that great of a draft class. Isaiah Johnson's a 75. Demarius Boston's a 75. Gavin Smith, 74. None of these guys are actually rated all that highly. So I feel like we did well. It was a little bit weird, but I think we did well. The running back went at 5. We took Dion Orr at 9. So we were a few picks away. I might have taken the linebacker anyway, just because I felt it was a more pressing need. And then Dylan Palmer was a 68, taken at pick 420. Only normal development, but that's what we missed out on. DJ Wanham on the trade block. What do you want to give me for DJ Wanham? Okay. Team Davis Gaither. Christian Harris. I might just prefer a pick. Actually, you know what? No. Give me Akeem Davis-Gaither, Jeffrey Gunner, and I think Mitchell Wilcox. That one might be wrong. Also, my whole defense are scheme fits now. Cam Bynum is too. I don't know. Cornerback is weird. I think I'm going to leave it as is, but check out. I mean, the entire front 7 is a perfect chemistry fit. Or, yeah, scheme chemistry. So, I like that. Daniil Hunter is on the verge of being incredible. I think we're going to take a big step up this year. We might need to sign a kicker. But this could be a really, really good team. I don't know what Burnett's going to do. That's kind of like my one issue. Might just play him. Surely he's got to be better than Harrison Phillips as a pass rusher. 21-year-old rookie kicker, undrafted, 70 overall, 97 kick power. Welcome to the team. We've made it to week 1. This is our team, 84 overall, but we're building in a positive direction now. Still might have to trim off some of the fat. Starting 3 rookies on offense. Tyreek Clinton at quarterback, and then a center and a right guard. I'm hoping for big things from him. He's great in the short game. The rest still developing, but he's got the tight spiral. I don't know. There's definitely something there. And then defensively, Akeem Davis-Gaither is going to start. Starting 2 rookies on defense, and Edwards is going to play a lot too. Don't know what's happening at safety just yet, but I like the look of this team. Now, Justin Jefferson will probably play in the slot, although getting KJ Osborne potentially up to superstar dev is intriguing to me. And then Phillips is going to be rush D tackle 3. I'm hoping for big things. We'll see what happens. 3-4 at the midseason mark is not what I wanted to see. I was hoping more for like 5 or 6 wins, although it's only, year 2, I guess. So it's still very, very, very early in this rebuild. Not even halfway there yet, probably. So still a lot of room to grow, a lot of room to develop. And is Ezra Cleveland, I think his contract is expiring. I'm going to try and re-sign him before upgrading him. I don't want that to affect price. Of course, the top player in this class is a quarterback. Not moving me, though, from Fresno State. We've seen some of those guys before. The Carr brothers. And you know what? Maybe there is another QB all-time. I think there is another one from Fresno State. I'm not thinking of it. Trent Dilfer, that's right. I know Jake Haener in this draft class, but that's not what I was talking about. Yeah, Trent Dilfer is the other big one. The corners, once again, no one looks too good. Jason Hayward. The names in some of these draft classes. I mean, I know there are only so many combinations before you get to someone who's like real in real life or famous in real life. But funny, I feel like we've seen a lot of them so far. Faster than a speeding bullet. Great to elite speed. B-man coverage. Might have something here late in the first to the second. Chris Evans. I mean, I know he doesn't spell it the same way. Ooh, great to elite speed. I'm interested. Here is just the entirety of the Texans offense in the early 2020s, late 2010s. And we found the same build of the running back we passed on. From Houston, a ball carrier vision break tackle, carrying. He's a whatever athlete, a trucking. This might even be an upgrade. Players ready to negotiate at the midseason mark. Justin Jefferson wants nothing to do with the Vikings. He wants somebody with the franchise quarterback tag. Well, our quarterback could potentially work up to that. I actually haven't even seen his development trait yet. Daniil Hunter wants to be on a Super Bowl team, doesn't think we're it. But I think we can be. I want to wait on offering some of these contracts. TJ Hawkinson would love to be a Viking. Can I just offer him that? Up it or dude, okay. He wants more years. Nobody wants to be here. They all want to be on a Super Bowl team. That's crazy. I mean, we could be. Give me another year. We can get there. No one wants to be here. Our offense is crushing it. Our defense is terrible. I hope they turn it around. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to switch to a 4-3 mid-season. Also, Whiteside had star. McPherson had star. My quarterback, Tyree Clinton, has star. And then defensively, Hurst has star, and Burnett has star. So none better than star dev, unfortunately. But it's, I guess, better than normal. I don't think better by much, by the way, but it is better. Breakout quarterback challenge coming off a bye. Although it was a 35-25 win the week prior. I'm not against this. Please, Tyreek, move up to superstar dev. It would be massive for us. I'm going to do my focus players here, and we're going to be ready for the playoffs, hopefully. But we're not, going to make them right now. So we actually made the playoffs, 9-8. We snuck in, had a really good second half of the year, I guess. Or not really good, but good enough, right? We had, where's our bye week on here? Week 10. After that, we lost only 3 games, including a 4-game win streak in there. So not too bad, actually. And that could change how some of these players feel about us in terms of contract negotiations as well, which is really nice. Who's about to retire on this team? Harrison Smith, and I never traded him? Oh, that would suck. Yep, Harrison Smith, and my rookie quarterback's going to tell me about him. Wearing number 16. Did Fran Tarkenton wear 16 for the Vikings? I don't think so. No, I think he was 10. Yeah, he was 10. Also, discuss my weak link. It has to be based off stats, right? I don't know what the ranking is. Surely creating pressure is going to be the way to go, but I don't know if we're going to get 3 sacks. Maybe with Daniil Hunter, you never know. And we have so many moments or whatever you call these things. It's kind of crazy. I don't think I can guarantee a win, but I'm going to do it anyway. We'll earn staff points. The Rams are fired up, though. Maybe we lose as a result. My QB is still only star dev, so he did not go up, but his morale is boosting him +4 right now. And then defensively, Don't see any changes right now, but they wouldn't get the midseason things, unless I actually went into the, whatever it's called, right? Into the actual moment. You get auto-upgraded at the Super Bowl week. So I guess it makes sense that nobody except that quarterback would have changed, but I guess he failed the dev trait challenge, unfortunately. And that was the week off the bye. Okay, we only scored 14 points. So I guess that makes sense. Daniel Jones is the Falcons quarterback, and Tyree Clinton really shit the bed. 3 interceptions to 2 touchdowns. Not great. Although our stats and awards, Tyree Clinton was exceptional. About 5,000 passing yards, 44 touchdowns to only 14 interceptions. 3 of those came in one game. Dalvin Cook had his best year. Really, really good. And that's not saying much. We've only had 2 years. Justin Jefferson dominated, but the numbers took a step back for some other receivers. Jalen Reagor playing a whole lot. And then defensively, I'd love to see some big totals here. Manny Burnett is a rookie, 17 for Loss, 16 for Hunter, 16 for Geo Curse, 10 for Zarius Smith, who led the team in sacks. Daniel Hunter actually didn't do a whole lot. 6 for Geo Curse is a really good number, though. 3.5 for Manny Burnett. And way more interceptions this year. Oh, my goodness. 5 for Cam Dantzler, 4 for Kendricks, 2 for Akeem Davis-Gaither, and Andrew Booth. I think we probably quadrupled our interception total from the previous year. That's incredible. And it's wild card week. I'm not going to jump in. It's the 8-9 Rams. If we lose, we lose. We'll go to the offseason. Hopefully, we can string some wins together. And it's a 1-point win. Oh, my goodness. Big morale boost for the defensive players. +5. Is that big? I don't know. It sounds like it could be. This 5 isn't that many. Big +10 morale boost around Harrison Smith, though. Morale really should be impacting these players a ton. Really boosting that overall. That should stack, hopefully, and it's +15. And then another one here. We called our shot, said we were going to guarantee a win. We got some staff points. It was not worth it. Was not at all. Can we beat the Panthers in the divisional? 2 very even teams. Panthers are great in sim. We beat them 33-30. Another really narrow victory. But that's the story of the 2022 Vikings. Except not the playoffs. But we're winning in the playoffs. We're doing pretty well so far. 2 wins. Not bad. We're going to be playing in a conference championship. And another +10 morale boost. I think that's only for each game, though. So it's not +20 now. +1 speed for Andrew Booth, +2 zone. Like that. What are these overalls up to? Dalvin Cook's up to a 99. Justin Jefferson's a true 99. We see some +3s, some +4s all over the place. I love to see it. Some only +1 or +2. But for the most part, this is an incredible team right now. We're getting hot at the right time, and we're going to jump in for the conference championship against the Commanders. Another pretty even team compared to we are. They have Tom Brady. The Commanders have Tom Brady. They dragged him out of retirement, said, hey, come play in Maryland. All right. I don't know about that one. Get on the board first. Nope, the Commanders are up 14-0. Our offense is not going to come to play, or the defense, apparently. There's a touchdown, though. But Washington continues to drive. It's only a 7-point game, though. We got to get in the end zone. Please. It's a touchdown game. Defense, wake up. It's a 1-score game, but it's been a 1-score game. And now a huge 3rd and 2. We're jumping in. Tom Brady as the Commanders quarterback is something else. Make a play. Harrison Smith. No. Brady has 274 and 3 touchdowns. And we need to stop them. No first downs. Let's play action. We're done. We're done. Now, we just still need to stop. It's okay. It's going to go to the 2-minute warning. We need a punt. Shoot gaps, make plays. Right up the middle. I think, did I abandon my gap? I may have. Dude, I thought they were running outside zone. A miss. Couldn't get a stop. Tom Brady still got it, apparently. However, the good news is, I think we may have changed our status from not a Super Bowl contender to definitely a Super Bowl contender now. Really nice playoff run. I know it was stopped short, but hopefully this changes how our own players feel about us, and now they have a little bit more confidence, and hopefully that will impact and give us some negotiating power here as we enter the offseason. Chiefs beat the Commanders in the Super Bowl. Nick Bolton wins MVP. Basically looked like it in real life, right? But, I mean, you got to give it to, Patrick Mahomes. But Tom Brady wins MVP, and then here we win Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Tyree Clinton and Geo Curse. Love to see it. Both could be getting dev trade upgrades to Superstar. So love to see that. And did Harrison Smith retire? Where is he coming back? Come back, Harrison Smith. He hasn't made the decision yet. We get an update that he's pondering his future. Come on, dude. Tyree Clinton is a superstar. Knew that was going to happen. It's so much better that they get a dev upgrade when they win offensive or defensive rookie of the year now. It used to not happen, which kind of seems insane to me, I guess. Just because you'd think, oh, they should get a dev upgrade if they win rookie of the year. Seems kind of like a given that they're on a fast track to being, you know, one of the league's best players. It doesn't always work out, obviously, but they should get the benefit of the doubt at that point. A little bit frustrating that it used to not happen. Geo Curse also moving up to superstar dev for winning defensive rookie of the year, and he's got good block shedding, but a lot of these are getting huge upgrades that are only momentary. Why did I was going to say momentarily, but then momentary worked better with the actual sentence. I don't know. We got a long way to go with some of these players. 153 mil available to spend. However, we got to bring back some big players. Hopefully their tune has changed, and it has. It has in a huge way. Now, Cam Dantzler has Superstar X Factor? Okay. Well, we're going to overpay him for sure. Give him whatever he wants. Cam Dantzler's back. See, now we have a franchise QB. Tyree Clinton earns the tag, and now we can keep Justin Jefferson as a result. We're going to have to pay him an exorbitant amount of money, but I am okay with it because he is Justin Jefferson. Welcome back to Minnesota. I did say that a bit prematurely, but it did happen, so it's okay. TJ Hawkinson does want to be here a little bit. We're going to have to give him a low-risk deal. I know we're paying so much money for all these players, but it's the core of our team. They're all free agents at once. You know, hopefully we don't have to deal with it too much after this, but Daniel Hunter is back. Big contract extension. Eric Kendricks is down to an 80. We'll get him for one more year. He only wanted 1 year, but that's a position we have to upgrade. AJ Osborne is not going up in overall. 2-year deal. I'm going to have to raise the money a bit to keep him. He doesn't want to be here. All right, goodbye. Ezra Cleveland's back, though. So many big free agents. Team Davis Gaither we traded for. It's not all that expensive. I'd be okay keeping him around. He's back. We still have 70 mil. These contracts are going to get really expensive really quickly, though. So we still have to be really cognizant of that and not be super crazy in free agency. Lamar Jackson's here. We can't do it. But CD Lamb, that could be an awesome wide receiver, too. I think I'm doing exactly what I said I'm not going to do. And that's give big money to, you know, everybody we see. But CD Lamb would be really nice. And stealing Rashawn Gary from the Packers also could be really nice. He's like my Zadarius Smith upgrade. Although, would I prefer Brandon Ayuk for cheaper? Because it's cheaper, but he is worse. But it probably doesn't matter because we have Justin Jefferson. So I am going to go ahead and try and save some money here. I just think it's a better move. And we have to really heavily compete with the Jaguars. Okay, so maybe we can get CD Lamb. I'll lowball him. Well, we got Rashawn Gary and we got Brandon Ayuk. Huge start to free agency. I'm now going to pull my offer on... Well, I'm not going to pull the offer. I'm just not going to change it on CD Lamb. Offered on Grant Delpit as well. Who did I miss out on that I offered? Oh, Patrick Queen, that's right. And CD Lamb actually signed to the Giants for fairly cheap. We missed on him too, but I think it was important to not get him. It would have really crushed our salary cap. I know it seems like we have the position covered, so why would I get Rashawn Gary? But Zadarius Smith is getting a lot worse. And I think Rashawn Gary is the move. I mean, it's the same career path, honestly. That's kind of funny. Just poaching players from the Packers. Harrison Smith is still here, by the way. But we need a safety potentially, or corner, and we could move some guys around. Still have Cam Bynum doing whatever he's up to. Harrison Phillips we could trade and go into a 4-3 look. That would be Curse and, well, if Phillips stayed on the team, Curse, and Phillips on the inside, or Burnett, I could be happy with. It'd be a lighter interior, but great pass rusher, so I'd be okay with it. And then Gary and Hunter on the edge. We'd need another linebacker in order for that to happen, so we might just stick in the 3-4. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Getting superstar X Factor for Cam Dantzler is a little bit insane to me. I don't know why he keeps getting upgraded. I don't think he keeps getting that many interceptions. Maybe he has led the team in the past couple of years, but I thought that was somebody else. No, maybe it was Cam Dantzler. Well, very different this year. We're picking at 29 as opposed to 2 and 7. And per usual, I want some of the talent at the top of the class. Although actually not all that high up. Vince McQueen is someone that I think looks very good. Just potentially at a position that we don't necessarily need right now. But you guys know how I'm tempted. So, could still happen. Did a lot of the scouting on linebackers in this class. I feel like it was one of the biggest positions we needed to upgrade. How about switch to middle linebacker? Never mind. Okay. Oh, and EA servers just went down. I'm going to bed. We've made it back onto Vikings franchise. I've rearranged the defense a little bit, and it's going to look like this for the time being. But you got to keep in mind that a lot of these guys are getting worse. Eric Kendricks, Akeem Davis-Gaither is just not great. But Zadarius Smith is down to an 83 overall. Harrison Phillips is a better overall at defensive tackle, which makes sense, but I don't know if he's really a nose at only 307 pounds, which is funny to say, but we don't really need a prototypical nose. I could put Gio Kirst there and feel good about it in Madden, regardless of realism. But we are nearly to the NFL draft here, 2024, and I know it seems like we have so many players in the front seven that we wouldn't need to draft one. But, well, I mean, outside of inside linebacker. Outside of inside linebacker. That sounds funny. But Vince McQueen from Clemson, 6'4", 260. I'd feel really good putting him at defensive end, I think. And he's a great athlete. Skills, A finesse move, A pursuit, B tackle. Block shedding's not too bad. Awareness and play rec are pretty good. But I just think he's going to end up being off the board by my pick. So what I think might make more sense is just waiting until the back of the first round. There is a corner I like quite a bit. Eric Bullitt. I think I talked about him a little bit last night. Elite speed, elite jumping. Says that he could end up being a starting corner for me. I worry about the D zone coverage. Just not going to be good. Although I think we could potentially trade Zadarius Smith. So I think the Texans would be a pretty good team to move with. So if that defensive end is still available at 5, I would definitely highly consider a trade up. Not sure if he's going to make it, but he has. And it's funny, our top needs are apparently left end and right end. But I like Manny Burnett, still developing. He's got a meatball head, so hopefully it doesn't weigh him down too much. Harrison Phillips could be on the move. Zadarius Smith, just a little bit old, and the Texans really need a left end. They also have a pick at number 21. Could we package, and it might take more than this, but Zadarius Smith and 29 for number 5 and 21? Not quite. Okay, it's a big trade. Zadarius Smith, number 29 this year, projected number 6 next year. I don't know why we're projected so high, but I'll take it. We move up to number 5. We also acquire number 21 and a 4th next year. And I think I'm going to use that to take the defensive end and also potentially a corner. Now, the thing that gets a little bit weird is I've talked so much about needing linebacker. The linebackers are okay. They are okay. Not exceptional. Like, Dre Ridley looks really good, but he's just not as good of an athlete as I would like. He's just fine. Same deal with Alexander Walters. Spencer Goodman starts to get a little bit more intriguing, so he would probably be LB1 for me. And then Deshaun Hopkins is also intriguing, more of a thumper than anything, but I'm not going to take 2 inside linebackers in the first round. It's just not going to happen. But we're going to take our Zadarius Smith replacement first. It's Vince McQueen from Clemson, 6'4", 260, is 23 years old already, but looks like a fantastic athlete. We're going to add him to the team. Unfortunately, only normal development, because of course it is, but 85 speed, 91 acceleration at 6'4", 260 is pretty ridiculous, and hopefully he wins Rookie of the Year, moves up to Star Dev. That would be Very nice. Here we are at number 21. Don't pick again until basically the end of the second round. So we have to make this pick count. Dre Ridley is still available, which is really interesting to me, as is the corner I liked, but I don't know what to do here. Now, Chris Evans in round 2 to 3 looks very good. So I'm pretty much in the situation or the position of why would I take the other, and he's also 6'4", that's crazy. Why would I take the other corner, even though he's got a Hall of Fame name and Eric Bullitt? Why would I take him when we can draft Chris Evans a little bit later? Nathan Good looks pretty good. I guess, you know, that's an accident, but yeah, it works. The Broncos are offering me a trade package to move down to 28, so 7 spots. We pick up a second-round pick this year in the process. I'm going to do that with all 4 linebackers still on the board, and I would consider drafting really either one of them. I'm just going to roll the dice and see who's available, pick up another second-round pick. It's potentially ammo to move back up if we wanted to, and, I mean, all the linebackers are here pretty much, except for the top guy who's a little bit slow. I think I'm going to go Spencer Goodman here as elite speed, has B hit power, A zone coverage, B block shed, A awareness, B tackle. I think he's going to be a really good player, and welcome to the team. Of course, normal development, but has 90 speed at inside linebacker, 88 acceleration is also pretty good. And, yep, normal dev really stings to see, but I think the player is pretty good. Making a trade with the 49ers, we are sending 61, 157, and 189 to move up to 44, and we will have a better shot of getting the player I want at that spot. So we'll simulate right there. There goes Deshaun Hopkins to the Giants, a linebacker we were considering. Maybe I would have drafted him at this spot. There's good safety available in the Zach Dockery run support type with C-zone coverage. Not a great athlete, but Harrison Smith will be retiring probably in the very near future. But the guy for me here is going to be Chris Evans from Wisconsin. 6'4", 207, good coverage, great athleticism. He might be one of the best players in the class, to be honest. Maybe his awareness is going to hold him down, but welcome to the team. Of course, normal development, but 95 speed at 6'4", 207 is crazy. 92 acceleration and agility. You really wouldn't find someone with that great change of direction and agility at that size, but we got him. So this draft is going pretty well in terms of talent, I think. The dev traits, though, not so much. Nathan Good is available here, the running back out of Houston. Another 23-year-old, not the craziest athlete in the world, but as a true running back, I think he's pretty good. Should be a good goal line power back for me. Does have hidden dev. 89 acceleration, 89 speed. Not so bad for someone that weighs 222 pounds. Agility's pretty good, actually. Strength is pretty good. Change of direction, not so high. But he could be a good RB2 potentially if we move on from Alexander Madison. We'll trade down with Jacksonville, pick up an extra 6th round pick. Because, you know, why not? It's such a marginal trade down. I'm trying to trade down into the 4th round and pick up as much value as I can. I think that this trade with the Browns makes the most sense in order to do that. We pick up a 5th, and then again, we could potentially move down from there afterwards. And the player I want is still available. Joey Anderson here in the 5th round. Speed rusher out of Army, another 23-year-old. Pretty good athleticism. He's not going to be all that good. He's just an average rotational player. Will be my last pick of the draft. 85 speed, 85 acceleration. Good special teams player, maybe. And we'll trade down with the other picks, and I'll see you for the draft recap. Okay, draft recap. Let's see how we actually did in terms of getting talent onto the team. I think not so bad. Vince McQueen is a 76 overall, 73 for Goodman, 75 for Chris Evans, so he was one of the highest rated players in the draft probably, 74 for Nathan Good, and then got a Harvard receiver down the board as well. I don't know. I don't think these draft classes were that good. The highest rated player was a 76. Somebody who I considered drafting, Dalvin Finch. I think I also had Deion Byers on my board, 2 safeties that went. But, I mean, 76 overall was the highest in the class. We've had much better drafts than this and draft classes, but unfortunately, this is not one of them. Ballard also has star development. He's 24. I mean, this is the oldest draft class ever. Can't run any routes, unfortunately. He's 6'2", 234, built like a running back. But yeah, we no longer have Alex Madison, so Good is going to be RB2, which is cool. And then defensively, I don't know, dude. I'm trying to hold on to some of these guys that are staples of the team, like Eric Kendricks and Harrison Smith, for example. But it's tough just watching these guys get worse, as I feel like our chances for success get worse alongside them. It still is only 2024, so there is, plenty of time. We'll simulate to the midseason mark. I need a better draft class. I need a stud draft pick to build around. But now, I don't even think we have a first-round pick next year. So we'll see how we get creative with that. Harrison Smith is almost certainly retiring after 2024. And what else? Eric Kendricks is not going to be any good. I don't even know what to do. 4-3 at the midseason mark. The Packers are 6-0. Our offense is not really kicked into gear yet. Our defense is playing pretty well. The strengths of the draft class, again, are quarterback and cornerback. Maybe we could take a corner, although I feel like we're getting pretty strong at the position. Just got to develop those guys. And quarterback, we certainly do not need. $44 million cap. Christian Darrisaw is going to be a free agent. Harrison Phillips, Eric Kendricks. Oh, no. He's probably going to come back on a one-year deal. Cam Bynum we're going to need because we won't have Harrison Smith anymore. Harrison Phillips back on a 2-year deal. I think he's going to be good. You can always consider trading him. Christian Darrisaw we're going to have to pay big time. He's not going to be cheap. He doesn't want to be here. And it doesn't matter. We have to get him back. Very low-risk contract. And he still is not going to accept it. Wow. Potential franchise tag candidate for sure. Eric Kendricks should be back on a one-year deal. And we'll probably end up having to franchise tag Darrisaw. I think we can come to an agreement with Cam Bynum. I think it's actually going to be pretty easy. We'll offer him that. Cam Bynum is back. But Darrisaw is going to be the tough one. We are running out of money. Doesn't get easier. And it's going to be tough. We might sneak into the playoffs. Packers appear to be dominating the division right now. Hopefully in the second half of the season that changes. And we went 7-10. Missed the playoffs entirely. Our defense ended up being real bad. I think it's time to move to a 4-3, honestly. They're just, in my experience, way more effective in the game. And that's what we have to focus on. We are at the mercy of the game, after all. Yeah, not as good of a season as we would have wanted, but we're going to make some trades. Daniil Hunter going to slide down. Gary going to move down. I know we just drafted Vince McQueen, but I'm not sure if he's going to be a good fit for us anymore. I know that seems crazy. We just spent a first-round pick on him. But I like Burnett, Phillips, and Curse. Maybe at defensive tackle, and I don't really know where McQueen's going to play. Maybe as a backup, try to develop him, but Hunter and Gary are going to be my ends, and then we need, a really good linebacker. And I think I'll probably opt to trade for one. We gotta jump some of this developing and just get somebody who can play now. Bengals beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow wins Super Bowl MVP. No rookies of the year for us as far as I can tell. So that is unfortunate. Really nothing in there positive for us. Lamar Jackson looks like he won MVP with the Bucks, which that's something. Tyree Clinton was still not so bad. So I don't really know if he's our problem. Just got to keep developing him. Maybe he's up to 95 throw power too, which is pretty crazy. Dalvin Cook was great. Tyree Clinton actually scrambled a little bit as well. Nathan Good really did not do a whole lot of good for us. And then receiving, Justin Jefferson was great. TJ Hawkinson, very good. Ayuk did his role. And then there really was not a competent receiver 3 for us, but that's okay. We really only had the 3 receivers we needed if you include TJ Hawkinson at tight end. And Eric Kendricks, plenty of tackles. 14 for loss for Gary, 13 for Hunter, 13 for Phillips, 12 for the rookie Vince McQueen. And they did give him the award winner tag. He's up to star development, and things could potentially change. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year, I guess, in the NFC, even though they only showed AFC guys on there. So, okay. Things could potentially move. Geo Curse here. Also, with a very, very good year, and I guess he has the award winner tag from the year before. So, okay. I mean, a lot more production from the defensive line. A ton more. Burnett didn't do much. Harrison Phillips did not really get after the QB. And, we forced plenty of turnovers, I would say. Not enough, though, because we went 7-10. But it is time for a move. It is time for a change. And we got to transition to a 4-3 defense. It's just going to be more effective. Up to 50 mil in cap room. I would assume that's at least partially because Harrison Smith retired. I would be shocked if he were still around. And Christian Darrisaw, I don't know why his interest is so bad with us, but he really does not want to be here. So it's going to have to be an overpay if he's going to stick around, and we're going to do it. And Christian Darrisaw is back on a huge 5-year extension. I think he's worth it. We have 31 mil remaining. We are going to hold on to that. I don't know if we're going to sign anybody in free agency because I worry about keeping this core together. And I think that's, where we start to get into some trouble if we make a ton of big signings. Maybe we could get away with one. It depends. If there's a really good inside linebacker or somebody that we can develop at that position, we are going to try and do it. And looking at this team, Ballard ended up with star dev, TJ Hawkinson up to superstar, and then defensively, we have Vince McQueen obviously up to star, Rashawn Gary up to superstar X Factor, Eric Kendricks up to superstar X Factor despite being down to a 75 overall. Okay, and then Harrison Smith has not retired, by the way. What do we do here? There's too many players. We got to get rid of one of these guys, if not more. I think at this point, the odd man out might be Manny Burnett. I hate to do it, but that just might be the tough decision that we have to make. Harrison Smith down to a 79, by the way, as well. Bynum's going to start. Lewis Cian's going to slide over. I will say, it's remarkable just how little Akeem Davis-Gaither has developed. It's actually incredible. There's a lot to work with here. Great athlete, is not developing at all. At all. I'm just scrolling down here. Look at the interest bar. Absolutely no one, except for Chris Godwin, would even consider being a Minnesota Viking. I mean, this is ridiculous. You had to go down to Michael Pierce, who already played on the team, to see anyone with green interest in Minnesota. This is crazy. Jamin Davis might be the one. Nobody's offering him right now. He could start for us on the inside at linebacker. So we are going to offer him, and he's probably the only one. I don't know if he's going to sign on. Oh, he did. He's a Minnesota Viking. Cool. So that was actually really easy. And I think that's pretty much all we should do. Maybe a kicker or a punter. Ooh, we also got Evan McPherson. So big-time kicker. Could really change things for us. I feel like those matter more in simulation than I originally thought. Okay, I found potentially a generational corner. Kevin Raynaud. 6'2", 204 from Oklahoma. He's a catching, a man, a press, a zone. Physically, he's very good. That's not true. He's fine. But, yeah, he can play corner a little bit. We're going to have to draft him. Going to have to move up. Okay, found a receiver worth taking. Ran 4.24 at the combine. The old Chris Johnson record, John Ross has now at 4.22. A deep route running be released. Reminds me a lot of Larry Smith, who we have in Giants franchise. So that's going to be a pretty big potential pickup for us. Have a number of different players that I like. So we'll see if we can add them to the squad and hopefully bounce back from what was a really, really bad 2024 by our standards to this point. And yeah, I have high hopes and expectations. There could be some potential trades happening in the draft in order to facilitate. I didn't do private workouts. I'm stupid. There could be some trades that help facilitate that, and we'll see what happens. Our first pick is not until about the middle of the second round, so some things will have to change. Okay, the corner went at number 1 overall. I was not going to trade up to 1 to take a corner, so, I mean, maybe for the best. Here is the trade. It is Manny Burnett, Eric Kendricks now down to a 75 overall, and a third-round pick to move up to 20, where there are 2 players I'm interested in. We will have to make a decision between the 2 of them, and I think the wise decision is to take the receiver, although I do really like the look of Michigan State's Michael Davis. A-hit power, C-man, B-zone, really good athlete in general. I think he's going to be a good player. Just not quite sure he fits into our team as well as Ben Santos does from Clemson. 5'11", 184, electric speed, only 21 years old, I think it was. He's a deep threat, and we need that on the team. 99 speed, and normal development. Normal dev, man, is like the death of me. My theory is that with dev trait regression turned off, as you go throughout the franchise, you see fewer high development players in the draft classes. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true, but it feels like it could be. Trading number 45 and 2 fours to move up to 28. And we're going to give the safety a shot. Don't really have a ton of players in this draft class I'm super interested in, I don't believe. Adam Kilmer I do like, and Terrell Crompton I also like, but we have a lot of talent on the defensive line, although we might end up making a trade up. Adam Kilmer also looks like he could be good, but we're going to take a shot on Michael Davis here. Welcome to the team. Obviously normal dev. I'm moving on, but looked like he's a good athlete. Trading Ed Ingram, a 4th this year and a 7th this year for number 47 and another player to make it work for cap on the side of the Titans. So we are trading up to this pick, and I already told you guys what we're going to do essentially, and that is take both of these players. We're going to start with the linebacker first, hoping for somebody good. A lot of unknowns, A to C on block shed and tackle, but does have A pursuit and elite speed, A play rec. I think he could potentially play on the inside, which is what we need. And but the theory's got to be true, right? Almost certainly. Trading Akeem Davis-Gaither. He's just not developing for number 48 and Eric Ezekama. Hopefully this defensive tackle makes it worth it. But I can't start Akeem Davis-Gaither at inside linebacker again. I just can't do it. He's just not good enough. Terrell Crompton, though, looks very good at defensive tackle. Elite acceleration and speed. A finesse moves, B block shed. Obviously normal development, but going to be a good rotational player. And we gotta figure out what to do at linebacker. I keep saying that. I just traded away my starting inside linebacker. But Akeem Davis-Gaither is not good enough. I have to do better. We're going to trade a 4 and a 5 this year and a 4 next year for Zaven Collins from the Cardinals. Former first-round pick from them that just really hasn't done anything crazy yet in the league. We'll see if that changes over time. He's an upgrade on Akeem Davis-Gaither for sure in terms of overall and age. Will it work out positively for us? Who knows? Probably not. Ben Santos is a 77. Michael Davis is 76, not so bad. Kilmer and Terrell Crompton are in the low 70s. It really isn't too bad. It's just the development trait. Kevin Raynaud is an 80, so not generational by any means, but it's just a very solid, very good player. The athleticism is the thing that's holding him back. He only has 90 speed, just a little bit low. His dev trait, though, is star, so we really didn't even miss out on much. I think dev trait regression is screwing up the draft classes. I really, really do. We're going to start Kilmer at left outside linebacker. The LB core could be better. The rest of the team looks pretty good. Safety is, I think, fine. Lewis Cine and Cam Bynum really aren't getting a ton better, but they're fine, I guess. And then the corners are pretty good. I feel like no one has really developed in this video, though. It's so bizarre. Like mostly everyone's been at like the same overall the entire time. We just have to be more successful, obviously. The team is pretty awesome. I think we should be killing teams. Just hasn't happened like that so far. I mean, we made the NFC Conference Championship, of course, but after that, 7-10, come on. Okay, this is more like it. 5-1 at the midseason mark. Packers are doing really well too, though. They're 5-2. Lions right there at 4-3. But we are finally seeing success. I know you can probably be successful in a 3-4 defense in the game as well. But for me, the 4-3 defenses just perform so much better. Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, those are just always at the top for me in terms of the better performing teams, and especially on defense. And it seems like it's a game changer. It really, really does. I'm not even sure who we are going to have to re-sign. It's 2025. I feel like most of our top players have already received big contract extensions. And I mean, it's pretty much true. Somehow Harrison Smith is still on the team at 36 years old, but Lewis Cine, Andrew Booth Jr., and Dalvin Cook will need extensions. We have plenty of money to do it, so it really shouldn't be a problem. We'll focus on Dalvin Cook first. 4-year deal makes sense to me, and Dalvin Cook is back. Yes, he's a running back, but he's still going to be really good in the game. And then Andrew Booth Jr. and Lewis Cine really shouldn't be too tough. I have to give them a little bit more money than maybe I'd want to otherwise. But the money situation right now, really not so bad. Lewis Cine said no, by the way, which I don't know why. I gave him a really team-friendly contract, or excuse me, player-friendly contract, and he said no. He just doesn't want to be here. Playoff time. We should be a playoff team after a 5-1 start, and we are because we went 15-2. That is more like it. When we check out the schedule here, you can see that we lost by a ton to the Bears, and our only other loss was to the Giants by a 1-score game. So, yeah, never seen that happen before. Ooh, Tyree Clinton ballin'. 4,600 yards, 40 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Dalvin Cook was great, had 21 touchdowns on the ground. Nathan Good had 5 of them. Justin Jefferson, 13 touchdowns. Same for TJ Hawkinson, both over 1,100 yards, nearly 1,200 for Hawk. Very, very good seasons. Even Ben Santos in a limited role, I feel like was pretty good for a rookie. And he's kind of a beast. Short and medium route running, not good. Everything else, very good. And then defensively, oh my goodness. So 200 tackle players in Jamin Davis and Zaven Collins. Tackles for loss, 16 for Harrison Phillips, 15 for Daniel Hunter, and 13 for Rashawn Gary. And then as you can see, the big one, we had 2 players with 24 sacks. Rashawn Gary and Daniel Hunter combined to be an entire team, essentially. 48 sacks in a year is very good. Maybe a little bit less impressive in a 17-game season for a team, but 48 is real good. They had 48 combined on just 2 players. Gio Kirst at 6, 5.5 for Phillips. We might have put together the best defense in terms of getting after the quarterback in NFL history. 71 sacks. The next highest was 60, and then 49 for the Seahawks. The most sacks ever in a season was the Chicago Bears in 1984, had 72. And also, the next highest is the Vikings back in 1989. I don't think I can name any player from the 1989 Vikings. I remember the Purple People Eaters with like Carl Eller and Alan Page, but I don't know anyone on the 89 Vikings. Yeah, Chris Dolman, obviously. I don't know, RIP, by the way, I forgot about him, but Keith Millard was the other one. Someone I've never heard of, but seemed like he was a dominant defensive tackle for the Vikings for a little bit. Is on the all 1980s team, won Defensive Player of the Year in 1989, put up 18 sacks at defensive tackle. And then he was injured going into his age 29 season, didn't play at all, and then was, I mean, pretty much never the same player. But oh my goodness. Let me tell you, Keith Millard from his rookie year in 1985, where he put up 11 sacks, to age 27, he had, in that span, 51 sacks in 60 starts, 71 games played overall, 2 picks as well, had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, had 7 fumble recoveries in that span. Dude, this guy looks like he was a monster. 2-time All-Pro, 2-time Pro Bowler. This is the best 2-time Pro Bowler I've ever seen. This is insane. This is the team as we head into the divisional. 15-2 is a crazy good year, getting a lot of morale boosts in there as well. And I don't know what to say other than this. This should be a Super Bowl team. I feel like we've built a monster, and now it's time to reap the rewards. Bucks in the divisional, I mean, we are significantly better than them on paper, but I wonder if that will end up having any effect, because they have Lamar Jackson, and that's going to be a pretty tough player to stop. I put together a pretty good defense to see if we can get it done. Bucks on the board first. Field goal, now a touchdown. Our offense did not show up today for this home game. Down 12, now 19-0. Finally getting the end zone. 7 points in the first half, and it's actually going to be a 1-score game. Vikings are so good in those, and we now have a 1-point lead. Tyler Bass missed a field goal. We should be able to score a touchdown off the back of that. It's 27-19. The Bucks driving down the field, though, and they have KJ Osborne as well. Kind of a fun matchup. Return home. Lamar Jackson in the game. Oh, that's a bad check down. Oh, man, we got to let him get out of bounds. And not only do the Bucks need a touchdown, they need a 2-point conversion. So they are in a really bad spot here. Run up the middle. We're all over it. That is the rookie making a great play. We might want to call a timeout. I don't think we have the units to defend this, but it's picked off by Michael Davis. Davis with a huge interception. Dude, he's so tall. Oh, because it's a linebacker. It's Jamin Davis. Dude, he was really running without like a DB. How did he do that? Okay. Jamin Davis is a beast. That was unbelievable coverage. First down ends the game. Let's go, Dalvin. He's going to be real close. That's the game. And that is the ball game. Vikings moving on. 320 yards passing from Tyree Clinton, 4 touchdowns. Did have 2 interceptions. Lamar Jackson lit us up for 350, but it doesn't matter. We're moving on. Ooh. Seattle Seahawks in the championship here of the NFC. They brought in Josh Allen, not the quarterback, but the edge from the Jaguars out of Kentucky. Hopefully he plays no impact, and we roll over Seattle. We are up first 10-0 after an Evan McPherson field goal and then a touchdown by somebody. 13-0. Our defense is holding pretty strong, but it's still now a one-possession game. Still a one-possession game. And I thought the Seahawks might have taken the lead there. It's just so back and forth, but nobody's actually moving. Did we punt? Are we on offense? Roy Harris is their quarterback. It's 4th and 10. Game on the line, backed up to their own end zone. See if we can cause a little bit of pressure here. End the game. Dude, Cam Bynum is on the other side of the field. The Seahawks are driving down the field. It's a little bit scary right now, but a field goal from them ties it. I'd like to get the football back, but they keep driving. So, I don't know what's going to happen here. There's a really real chance that we just lose the game because they score a touchdown. And that's the worst coverage I've ever seen from Lewis Cine. He just stopped moving. Oh, Lewis Cine, big hit. He's only going to be good as a user. His coverage was terrible. When you get destroyed by Adam Troutman, that's when you know. And we've got him in a deep zone here. We're going to run the ball. Are we going to see all this time go off the clock? This might be the final play of the game. Oh my goodness, I'm on Cam Dantzler. I don't mean to be on a corner. It's a check down. Don't tackle him. Don't tackle him. All right, it's game over. Oh, they had no timeouts. Oh my goodness, what a complete and utter disaster from the Seahawks. Could have easily tied the game on a field goal. Decided to keep running plays. Some of the worst quarterback play I've probably ever seen. Roy Harris launched 2 picks. We completed 40% of our passes, and it was somehow not even that bad compared to Roy Harris. Only 174 yards passing. Tyree Clinton with really an all-time terrible playoff performance. Just like the Steelers dragging Big Ben to the Super Bowl. I think second year in the league? When he was so bad and they won the Super Bowl in spite of him. This would have been on the same level, if not even worse. And it is the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Am I right in saying these are 2 teams that have never won the Super Bowl? I am right. The Bengals have gone to 3, never won. Vikings, obviously, have been to 4 and never won. Maybe that's not obvious, but yeah. They've been to 4 and did not come away with a win on any of them. We are the slightly higher rated team, 90 overall to their 87. Will it matter when we're matched up against Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow? I don't know. But it's an LSU Super Bowl, an L Super Bowl, LSU Per Bowl. I don't know. I don't want to say L Super Bowl, but LSU Super Bowl, LSU Per Bowl. I need to stop saying it. Yeah, but between Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, there's plenty of representation for LSU in this game. And the Bengals are up first, now 14-3. Our offense is not coming to play. Come on, find the end zone. Okay, it's a 3-point game all of a sudden. We love to see that. And we've taken the lead, 24-20. Bengals are not able to put together a drive. And we go up 27-20 on a 50-yard field goal from Evan McPherson. Final drive of the game for Cincinnati. No timeouts on the clock. Desperation mode. Andrew Booth, I need you. Jamar Chase mossed him down the field. I went up to deflect it. He didn't make the play. That's a mismatch. Can't call a timeout, though. Final play of the Super Bowl, potentially, and it's a check down! The CPU is so brain dead, it's unbelievable. Although, we have seen some checkdowns to lose playoff games recently. Shout out Kirk Cousins. But that's it. Super Bowl win here for the Vikings, the first in their franchise's history. And we kept together a good part of the core. Kind of. Christian Darrisaw, Danielle Hunter, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. We'll bring in TJ Hawkinson into that mix. Our offensive line stayed pretty much the same. Brian O'Neill alongside Darrisaw, of course. Ezra Cleveland was still there. Who else? I think that's pretty much it on offense. On defense, Cam Bynum, Cam Dantzler, Lewis Cine, Harrison Smith got a Super Bowl win. What a time to be alive. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Hit that subscribe button if you liked it, and take it easy.